Wagwan Two Tone Podcast.
Lewis from Terra, you were in Terra, played keyboards, and you produced. Terra split, and all the members went their separate ways. Now you have your own record label called Aspekt Mafia. I know under that label you have Shakaman.
His music is very collaborative. Like we all had like our songs that we contributed to the catalog, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say that I did like most of the songs, but the ones that I did do, I'm super proud of for sure.
I think one of the first times I met you, Terra played with Pilfers in Connecticut with Soja.
I do remember that show. These dudes was fire. Best rendition of reggae. Best.
Thank you.
Best.
That was a fun tour. They took us to Hawaii for the first time as well. So just been like big bros for sure.
Respect.
How'd you get in Terra?
Well, me and Nate both grew up in Vegas, and we used to do like metal bands back in the day when we were growing up. So we were doing that, and then that kind of fizzled out. Then he moved to California, and then that's when he started jamming with Nick. They started getting gigs and started to really just kind of picking up momentum, you know? I just kind of went with the flow.
Is that what got you into reggae?
Reggae would always be like what would play like when we're hanging out. Like it would be like almost like background music kind of, you know? Like people would just but it really kind of like drew me in. Like it started with like bands like Sublime, like more of the American stuff, and then it kind of just like I just started going down the rabbit hole from there because I would hear like, oh yeah, Bradley, you know, use these lyrics from this song from Toots and the Maytals, or you know, he used a lot of references from like, and then I would just go in like, who's that, and then just go again down the reggae rabbit hole.
What got you into producing?
I mean, the making of the music part is like my favorite part. Playing shows is cool, but like making the music is really kind of like for me where the magic really like happens. Do the best that I can to create some sounds that really like touch people, you know? And reggae for me is like that conduit. Most people have a really soft spot for reggae, you know, whether they're doing like these like chart topping pop platinum like records, like anyone that I've ever talked to in this like at least industry, like the spot for reggae there always like touches like a certain chord, you know? Very special to me, and it's something that I very like taking the time to like study, and then working with people whether they work in reggae music or not. I'm always learning and collaborating with people, so whatever I learn I always bring it back to the sound I love. This artist Maxo, who I've recently started working with lately, super cool kid. He's got a crazy story too, so you'll be seeing more of him too. We're going to be starting to release some of his stuff this year, coming up this year, that where I was just really like building up the studio and like just making as much music as I possibly can. This next year coming up, 2025, it's just like it's going to be a year of releases, so it'll be exciting to see these like out.
Speaking of which, you have a release with the man they call Cooley Ranks. I don't know if you guys want to talk about the collab.
I heard the track. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I wrote the song in like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I think you sent the track to me. I was like, oh, hold on a second. And then I sent it back. I was like, yeah, I got it. I got a song. And literally, I just wrote it while I was cooking. I love your music, man. I love the sound. The sound is
cool,
just like,
man.
it just moved me. Yeah, I need more of these tracks to vibe with the production. Like
I get like ADD where I'm like bouncing from different sounds. I'll go from reggae, and then sometimes I'll go to making dancehall, then sometimes I'll go to making R&B, but then sometimes I'll go into making like some lovers rock. And I do that more so because I work with so many artists that not every artist that I work with is always in the mood for one particular sound. So for me, like having a plethora of sounds just makes me versatile to work with. If someone's in the mood for a dancehall tune, okay, cool. These are my dancehall beats. Someone's in the mood for a roots style, you know, heavy conscious rhythm. Okay, this is my folder for those. Usually kind of like go off of what the artist is feeling, or like if they tell me like, hey, I'm in this kind of zone, or my sounds are all over the place kind of in a way. And so this year where I've been working with like the artists like Shaka or Maxo, like Maxo's more of like a rapper, but he likes reggae music and he likes rapping on top of like reggae inspired beats. So like Mellow Mood and like Lion D, Forlock, like Italian heavyweights in reggae, and that's just like a straight like militant like heavy rockers tune. So
I saw you have a track with Mellow Mood.
Yeah, that
I
was
know.
my first. That was our first release that we did with them, and that was just kind of just to like start off. Like that was the first Aspekt Mafia thing that we like launched, just to kind of like let people know like this is like what we like. Reggae is like, you know, I'm married to reggae. Like reggae is it. But working with like the rappers and like Shakaman, who's like very versatile. He can sing, but then he does his like rub dub MC style. It kind of pushes me to like get out of my ownness, you know what? Because I love reggae, but it's like I won't grow if I don't try working with people that will push me, you know?
How do you go from heavy metal to reggae? What was the one turning point in your life where you were a metalhead and both you and the singer of Terra turned into reggae people?
I started smoking weed, and like it was just always that. It's like
You weren't an angry metalhead anymore. You were like, this is peace and love.
yeah,
I
I just like chilled out, and it was just more so the music that we would play like when we would come back from rehearsal. You know, like after playing like that heavy music all day for rehearsal and like playing shows because we were doing a lot of that. It would be what we listened to like on our off time, and I ended up just like I just don't want to turn this off.
What do you vibe out to? Even with the heavy metal.
Well,
Heavy metal
first,
or reggae.
I like how you said staples, like stuff that's just like just in the rotation. I mean, Steel Pulse is definitely up there.
mm,
Midnight. I went down the midnight rabbit hole.
Rest in peace.
mm.
Yep, yep. My favorite artists are from all over the place. You know, like if I were to pin down, it's kind of like the Olympics, or it's a kind of like it's world music. You know, like it's gotten bigger than just like the island of Jamaica now. So now you have like these crazy artists in Latin America, these great artists in France, like Dub Inc. Dub Inc. Oh my goodness, those guys, top notch. And then
Albarosi's from Sicily, I think.
Italy, I'm not sure where, but yeah, you have Albo, and then you know bands from New Zealand like Catch a Fire, and obviously in the U.S. you have your Slightly Stupids and 311. So you know, yeah, it's I can appreciate all the different the spectrum of what of where it's gone. It's hard for me to really narrow it down. It's really more so just like what am I in the mood for sometimes, you know? But like Midnight is so like heavy and deep in thought that I'm not always in the mood for that. But when I am, it's like I know that that's what I need to listen to.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of take music more like food. Like what am I in the mood for, you know? Or what's going to get like some inspiration flowing.
Cool.
But my focus right now has been more so in the studio and like finishing the music because that's that's where my journey is right now. Like the shows I feel like will happen when they're supposed to, but in my thoughts like shows can't really happen until the music is just like done and out for people to listen to and say, "Hey, I want this at this festival." So that's really where my focus is.
You're a true artist. You know, you're confident and you're letting the universe decide and humble enough.
Yeah, I mean that's just how I've gone throughout life. The support that Ayaterra built over the years, it kind of really just came from just like working and just staying like consistent with whatever we were doing.
You guys
So
have original style too. Like Ayatara had a very specific reggae style that sets the band apart from others. What are your goals for Lewis? What are your goals for the Aspekt Mafia
I
label?
want to put out great music, like great reggae music.
And any artists you're trying to work with?
You listen to Yaksta lately?
I heard.
He's yeah, cool cat from Jamaica, fire. So he's more on the dance hall and over at the studio, and we've made some like amazing music. And
Mm.
shout out to my friend Princeton Sonic Gold Productions. So I've been collaborating with him a lot. But that's been like a good part of my process too, is collaborating with people that are like we can share ideas. Collaboration is definitely good. You know, I can't like there's times where I love my own space and just being able to freely think without having to like, you know, cater to someone else. But then that collaboration is needed too to get yourself out of your own head. When it's collaborating with someone that you can like vouch for and trust, you know? Like, okay, if he's saying this, I gotta trust his ears.
Did you bring like real musicians in to make your tracks?
I've been working with Black Hero lately. Made my way into working with a lot of the artists at Delicious Vinyl.
Well,
I don't know if
they're
you're
still around?
familiar.
Of
Huh?
course. Yeah, they're legendary, dude.
Yeah, so I found myself working with a lot of their artists, stuff with Yardcore, Samurai.
Is that
Yeah.
what you were with in Jamaica when I was in Kingston? You're like, oh, I'm in Kingston too, or something. And I'm like, who you with? And you're like, I can't tell you.
Who was I with that time?
I was like, all right, man.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I can't. I think we were at Protege's house, but
Oh, wow.
I don't know why I would have said that. I probably was like just being funny, bro. I'm sorry. Working with people that, you know, they're doing their thing, and I want to be coming at the most correct that I can for these projects. It's gonna be an exciting year. I'm honestly so stoked, because it's like I'm doing like some of my first dance hall stuff coming out. I'm really excited for that. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of reggae, but yeah, I'm really excited for it. So Hero's in Africa right now, and he shot a video to one of the dance hall tunes we did out there. Crazy visual, honestly. Yeah, and I got to shout out here Black Hero, because I mean the work ethic from not just him but everyone that I just mentioned in the last like 5 minutes, the work ethic of these people, these humans. I'm like, I can't come and look at like I'm out of breath. Like I gotta, you know what I mean? Like Hero has this name for like the people he works with, calls them the Avengers, because when he gets together with these like creatives, it's just like you can just feel like this like aura, this like magic of like, okay, we're about to make something really sick.
It's really exciting to see that. So, you branched out from the California reggae rock genre, and now you're working with Jamaican dancehall artists. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm so ecstatic for the sound. Like I've always just chased after like the source of like the sound. You know, like I still like the bands like Revolution and Stick Figure. They like sure they paved the way for like the touring, the markets in the U.S. But I'm still just, but for me, it's the sound. Like I'm like searching for what the sounds of where these come from, and it led me to Jamaica and the fountain of the culture. So if I can like add anything to that, like I would. I'm like, yeah, I'm blessed
Yeah,
for
you're
sure.
in heaven right now.
Yeah,
Facts.
for Lewis, it's like really exciting to see that he's developed, like he's in the early stages, like first 3 to 5 years of building his record label and his sound. So
we
that's
lost you, Jeff.
what part, Kingston?
Yeah, I usually end up at I that'll be like home base, and then kind of venture off to other places throughout the trip. Um,
Right.
I'll probably be there in February actually for
Whoa.
the Lost in Time Festival. Have you ever worked with Philip McFarlane?
No, I when I go to Jamaica, I work with Computer Paul. That's family for me. So he's
Okay,
established producer. He's the first guy to put me in the studio here in America. We moved back
okay,
to Jamaica. Look him up. His credentials are quite a lot.
nice, bro. Send it. I'd love to check it out.
Yeah. He's done from Shabba to pop singers over here.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Philip McFarlane. He's like another really good friend slash mentor producer that
Uh-huh.
has really like helped me out a lot on my producer journey, because we kind of come from like same backgrounds. He's been doing this way longer than me, but similar as far as like he's the keyboardist for the band Earthcry. After they split, he was running his record label and like doing the production stuff for his other artists while doing Earthcry. And it was just always something that I really admired. I'm like, dang, like you can write for your band and be doing this for like these artists that you're helping out. I'm like, dude, having these like superhero friends around you is just like so inspiring, because I'm like it's one thing to like think that it can be done, but when you see someone like doing it, but then not that he just does it, but because he works really hard, you know, for it. So it's not something that it's just like, oh yeah, I just do this. Like no, he like that is his life. And it kind of, yeah, it just puts it into perspective for like
Where's he
uh,
based out of?
Kingston.
Oh wow.
hmm
That's where you go when you go to Jamaica?
I'll go out there and we'll get like an Airbnb, but Philip is usually there. He helps us out with like either getting a driver or like helping us around. You know, he's a pretty good host.
Do you have any producers from Jamaica or from anywhere that you actually just, yeah, I want to be like that. I want to be better than that. Any like historical producers that you really like?
A lot of producers that have these songs that have really touched a lot of people, and that's really what I really strive for the most because that's the whole point of what I do, you know? It's not so much to get like a nice car. I mean, like that stuff's cool. Like, oh yeah, I want to buy a house from this hit song and like that stuff's cool, but I really feel like that doesn't happen until you have the song that really touches like a lot of people.
Sure.
So that's where like my focus is right now and just
So,
making the best product that I possibly can.
so you're doing the music. Are you also doing the writing?
Unless the artist like calls for it and asks for it, I won't like. That's really not where I. Yeah, people that I've worked with, they're like machines. They'll come in and like,
Ready.
yeah, knock out 4 songs in one day. I'm like, dang. I'm the engineer. I'm the producer. I'm the musician.
That's cool, man.
Where I got a couple of releases. One of them is with Maxo, the kid I was telling you about. Dope kid. That one's gonna be fun. And then I have another single that I've been working for a project for this artist called Busy Boy. February is gonna be reggae month. I'll be out in Jamaica. I'm crossing my fingers that some of these releases that I'm hoping for February are gonna be ready.
Do you ever see yourself in a band again?
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, like playing shows and doing the thing. Yeah, but I gotta finish the music first.
That's where the clip ends. Bong. I gotta finish the music. That's cool, man.
I love that. I
It's
appreciate
beautiful.
you guys, man.
Bro,
No,
you look like
respect, man.
Rage Against the Machine, bro.
Huh?
You look like Zach De La Roca, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. I like it. I've
You-
always been told that, bro. I'm like, I
Really?
like that. I like that comparison.
Dude, you look just like him. You're like the reggae version of Rage, dude. Reggae
Bro,
Rage.
I felt like I really like resonated with his style of just like being too with like his band because he also had not that I ever got to Rage status, but just his like give a fuck attitude about it, about like, you know, like I don't think Rage was like the kind of band that was they were trying to be a cool band, you know, like if anything that's what made them cool. Really resonated with like his style because I mean he literally walked away from like just like all right, this is becoming like not what I thought this was gonna be for. It's like
Mm.
I'll do anything else but this because it's not resonating. Or I have Asher from the Expanders coming through in a little bit. We're gonna make some music.
Yeah, you still working on Porch?
Yeah. He helps me a lot. He's like I mean he makes some beats too, but then he helps me a lot with the mixing and mastering of the stuff. So yeah.
Oh, you said you was getting into the two-tone. You ever try any of those beats?
You know what? I get artists that ask me like, "Hey, can you try to make me something like that?" But to me, my knowledge on that world is very slim. So like, I'll give it a shot, but it's not anything that I'm like, you know, like I can wholeheartedly be like stoked on because I
And
know that
trust me, it's
I'm
not an easy beat to grab, right?
yeah, no, like yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but I can appreciate it though for sure.
Listen to the specials, bro. That could be good.
Specials, Mad Caddies, Interrupters. Like all these bands, JB put me on. Like, bro, you don't know any of these bands. Like, start
I just love the whole involving everybody, unity, just standing up for people's rights.
through Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's one of my first exposures to that sound. I think probably. I think they had some of those bands in the soundtrack.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the second time we're talking about it. Singer Goldfinger was talking about how he was in the soundtrack of Tony Hawk.
That soundtrack was like revolution. Like that put on a lot of people, bro. That soundtrack was like very like crucial to a lot of people's first exposure to the music. You know.
You gotta check it out.
I would say so. Video games, I mean, I don't really play much video games now, but I can say that that's probably like something where I think I saw that I actually listened to the John Feldman episode and I heard you guys talk about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You were a character in there? How was recording that?
Ah, it was one of the best experiences in my life. How about that? You can play kid. You can be a kid, play shoot 'em up, bang, 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 and get paid for it. Be
I
silly.
would. I think it's so cool to like to have. I don't think I have the voice for it, but the people that do voiceovers for like cartoons, like I feel like that's got to be such a fun job.
Not anybody has a voice for it, bro. Anybody has a voice for it.
Well, it's got to be the right role too.
Exactly. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But it was fun, man. It's like they put you in these motion captions.
Uh-huh.
So you run around and you do all of this. It was fun, man. It was fun. Started talking to some of the people online. They shout out my brother who passed away, and I just haven't been involved in that, but it's pretty cool when you find out that there's a whole new world out there for you.
Thank you for coming on to the show with us, Mr. Lewis.
Of course, bro. It was a pleasure.
And we'll see you soon on the flip
Yes,
side.
sir. Be around. Thank you guys so much.
Respect, man. Much success.
Peace. Yes. Bless up.